I'm here at beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana with Mr. Tim Sale at Big Easy Con. How are you doing today, Mr. Tim?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Awesome. And you've done a lot of stuff centered around Batman and probably some other stuff as well. Can you talk about what you've done in the world of Batman and all that?
Sure. I worked, most of my work has been with the one particular writer, Jeff Loeb. And we started out by working on what we call Halloween specials. So every October we would have a Batman book come out, just a single 48-page book. And that led into something called The Long Halloween, which was a year-long murder mystery story with Batman. And that probably ultimately is what I'm best known for. But right after that, it was Superman, and then another Batman, and then Catwoman, and things like that. So all of that, well, not the Superman, but all of that is in the Batman part of the DC universe.
Very, very cool. And how long have you been doing the DC universe? How did you get into that ecosphere for DC?
A editor named Barbara Randall. I went to the San Diego Comic-Con when it was about comics. This is the late 80s. And was just looking for work. I had a portfolio. And she kept me in mind. And she also had been talking to Jeff, who was trying to get in. And DC wanted him in because he was coming from movies and TV. And she put us together. And we ended up doing something called Challenges of the Unknown, which came out in the early 90s. And it was a struggle, but, we got to... The basic thing was Jeff and I got to know each other. And by the time we got to Batman, the first Halloween special, we had it down pretty well. And so that was my first foray into the DCU.
That's totally awesome. And you being well known for the Batman universe, tell a little about how you got into the creating your Batman. Your Batman's very unique, and the art style and all that. How do you go about kind of capturing the likeness and all the stuff for the comics and so forth?
Well, I don't really know. I wasn't influenced by any particular artist on it. I had a lot of trouble at first finding a face for him that Denny O'Neil would approve. Ended up being as boring as it could be. But later on the more I did it, the more, since we sold pretty well, the more I got to take it on more of my own style. I used to be very worried about doing something that would be commercially viable, and then I just stopped and drew the way I wanted to draw. And I got so that what my evolution is really more about how to get better at drawing the way I want to draw.
Very, very cool. You've got all this art you've done. Do you have anything you would like to say for people that are really getting into art or still continuing trying to evolve into getting possibly into the heavy comics like DC and the big boys on the block?
Well, there's only one solution to it. Is just to draw every day, draw from life. Look at a lot of other people, see what inspires you. But it's just draw. And when you get down to the point where you want to start submitting portfolios or showing stuff to editors at a comic book show, my advice is to don't do pinups or covers. Do storytelling, because that's what they want to see. So 3 to 5 pages of storytelling is all you need to show. They'll know right away then they'll be able to pick out what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. And they'll know right away just by looking at it very quickly. But don't bother with the other stuff. Don't take anything in that, this is not finished, but I really like it. None of that stuff. Just finished pages storytelling, either pencils or inks. If you want to do both, just make a Xerox of the pencils, and then before you ink it, and then you can show that so they can see the difference between one and the other.
Well, that's more than I could think of. That's very wise words. Do you have any website links or anything you like to talk to shout out to people before we end the interview?
I'm on Facebook, but I don't have a website. I work with Essential Sequential, and there is a website for that. That's run by Jason Schachter, who takes us all to, or accompanies us all to conventions and handles all the stuff about setting up and that kind of thing. But no, I don't. I used to have a website. I don't anymore.
It's all good. Well, Mr. Tim, it was a pleasure talking with you, sir. You have a beautiful day. This is Owen at Big Easy Con 2019 in beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana for SciFiction.com. Signing off. If you enjoy this video and would like to contribute, go to patreon.com/SciFiction, where we will be giving away a Star Wars X-Wing Starfighter Lego set when we reach 50 patrons. So make sure you're subscribed so you can join in the discussion as we continue to cover all things sci-fi and beyond. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.